Hello there. Here's Miss Julia. Today we have manipulation tactics. Let's look at the various forms of it. So we start with gaslighting, guilt tripping, and then we go to ghosting. Yeah. And this video will be divided in three parts so that we make it shorter. Let's go. So as we start, let's look at starting with gaslighting. What is gaslighting? So gaslighting is a form of emotional manipulation where someone makes you doubt your reality, memory, or feelings. If you've ever had this situation before, like sometimes you talk to someone who says something to you. Let's just make an example with a promise you to take you somewhere, and the day comes, you ask them what's up, and they're like, I didn't say that. And they are so convinced, and they start making you feel like you're crazy. You start thinking, oh, what's wrong with me? Is something going on with my mind? Am I imagining things? Because they'll do their best in just saying no, they did not say that. Yeah, so that's it though. Let's move on. How it works: instead of taking responsibility, the person twists the truth to gain control. Okay. Then we have they might deny things they clearly said or did. They twist fact to make you look wrong, minimize your feeling, blame you for their behavior. Okay, so that's when I said they start asking you, are you okay? Are you imagining things? Are you going crazy? Because I didn't say that. That's what gaslighting is. Yeah. So let's go into the next one. So some of the common gaslighting phrases that you might have heard already are that's never happened. Okay. Or you are overreacting. That's when you react to something they said. They might tell you, oh, you're overreacting. Okay. Or you are too sensitive. You are imagining things. Or I never said that. And you see, once someone tells you these things, and you know 100% that they told you that, you know 100% that they did that, but they start no, they start saying no, I didn't do. They start saying no, I didn't say that. You, as a person, you start your reaction gets worse sometimes if you don't recognize these things. Your reaction might get worse, or you might start, screaming, shouting, or crying just because you know for sure that these things happen, that they say whatever you are thinking, you know it 100%, but you don't know how to prove it. That's very bad, right? I know that it might feel a bit somehow, yeah, but just know it's okay. Like it's like that when we're talking about gaslighting. Yeah. So then we have how it affects you. Gaslighting can lead to self-doubt, confusion, anxiety, low self-esteem, feeling like you can't trust yourself. Yeah, I know. Then outside that we have how to protect yourself. Okay, how do you protect yourself in this situation when something like this happen? Just know that you have to trust your instincts, set clear boundaries, talk to someone you trust. Yes. Don't let someone else define your reality. So when you know that that situation happened, when you know that they said whatever they said, and you're 100% sure because you heard it, I mean, you heard it clear, just know that you have to stay calm, trust your instinct, trust the fact that you know, and don't let the other person, just, twist your reality. Stay calm, stay grounded, and that's how you can recognize it and protect yourself, right? Then, lastly, we have gaslighting doesn't just confuse you, it disconnects you from yourself. Ah, sad. And the moment you start trusting your own reality again is the moment you take your power back. So, yeah, if you want to take your power back, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and know that you are right, okay? So, secondly, we have guilt tripping. Okay, guilt tripping is a form of emotional manipulation where someone tries to make you feel guilty in order to control your behavior, decision, or feelings. Okay, what it looks like, it can be obvious or subtle. Common signs include blaming you for their feeling. If you really cared about me, you wouldn't do that. Yeah. That's one of it. Playing the victim, acting hurt or disappointed just to pressure you. Using past favors against you. After everything I've done for you, is this how you treat me? Is this what you do to me? After everything I've done for you? Yeah. Then we have silent treatment or withdrawal, making you feel guilty without saying anything directly. And I think like this is one of the worst ones, right? Like they just go quiet, they disappear, they don't, just to make sure you feel guilty, you feel bad, so you go looking for them. Yeah. Then lastly we have exaggeration. You never think about me. It could be whatever the situation is, or they'll just make you feel bad for not thinking about them how they want, right? Yeah, that's what they use against you. Then we have why people do it. Why do they do that? Why will you do something like that? And the answer is people may guilt trip because they want to control or compliance, or struggle to they communicate their needs directly, feel insecure or afraid of rejection, and learn this behavior from others. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know how you can just learn this kind of behavior from someone else, but I think that yes, these are all things people do to make sure they can control you how they want. Okay, so how it affects you: it creates unnecessary guilt or anxiety, makes you question your own boundaries, can lead to people pleasing or resentment, damage damage trust in relationship over time. Yeah, these are the let's say the consequences of when you're being guilt tripped. This what happens. So yeah, watch out. How to deal with it: here are some practical ways to respond, and we have number one: recognize it, pause and ask them, am I actually doing something wrong, or am I being made to feel guilty? Number two, we have don't accept false guilt. You are allowed to have boundaries and needs. Set how do you make it? Like set some boundaries. Okay, know that no matter how you guilt trip me, I'm not going to give up. Okay, I'm not going to let you make me feel guilty. Okay. Then we have respond calmly, not defensively. Example, we have I understand you're upset, but I don't think it's fair to blame me. Four, we have set clear boundaries. I won't make decision based on guilt. Five, we have stick to your decision. Guilt tripping often continues if it works. So once they know that, oh, the last time it actually did work when I did this with that person, so let me do it again. So every time you give up, you'll be like, oh, it's okay. You're making me feel guilty. Let me do it for you. Let me make you have whatever you want to have. Know that that's how it's going to continue. This will continue. It will continue over and over again. So start setting some boundaries. Start closing that. Okay, don't make them do that to you. Okay, then simple way to respond: I care about you, but I can't do that. I don't think it's fair to put that on me. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this without blaming. Once you recognize everything, it will be very difficult for them. Yeah, once you let them know, hey, I'm aware that you're trying to, put the blame on me. Sorry, but I'm not going to take responsibility for whatever you feel, or how whatever you are thinking about. Okay, so this was it. Let's go to the next one. Let's go. So here we have ghosting. Ghosting is when someone suddenly cut off all communication, no replies, no explanation, just disappears. Okay, just like that. So what it looks like. So message left on read or ignored, unread or ignored. Like you send a message and they totally don't, text. If it's WhatsApp, it takes two blue, but or green or just no reply. Okay. No response to call or text, suddenly vanishing after regular contact, blocking or removing you without explanation. It can happen in date, friendship, or even work situation. Yes. Yeah. Then we have why people ghost. One of the reasons avoiding confrontation. They don't want an uncomfortable conversation, loss of interest. Then we have instead of being honest, they disappear. Emotional immature, emotional immaturity. We have not knowing how to communicate feelings, overwhelm or anxiety. Though this doesn't excuse the behavior. Yeah. Anyway, keeping options open. Unfortunately, common in modern dating. Yeah. I personally feel like when it comes to ghosting, most of us are kind of guilty about it. Sometimes you prefer to just, let go of certain things, to avoid confrontation. That's my thing. I think I'll start ghosting someone when I really don't want to go into, that brouhaha stuff. But I'm also aware that to some people in certain situation, it can become a bit, uncomfortable to the other person. To the one that you're ghosting, it might feel different because sometimes people need closure. People need to know what happened, why you ghosting me. But anyway, let's go to the next one. How it feels. Ghosting often leaves you with confusion. What did I do? Self doubt, lack of closure, frustration, or hurt. So, exactly as I was saying, this how the other person might be feeling. How to deal with ghosting. So, when you're being ghosted, make sure you don't chase endlessly. One follow up message is okay after that, step back. Number two, don't blame yourself automatically. Ghosting says more about them than you. Create your own closure. You may never get an explanation, and that's not your fault. Number four, we have set a personal boundary. Decide how long you'll wait before moving on. This one, if it was a relationship, focus forward, not backwards. Invest energy in people who show up. Okay, yeah, that's true. Then we have ghosting versus needing space. Oh, okay. Important. So these are two different things. There are people that sometimes need space, so stop replying messages, stop replying calls and stuff like that. Probably because they need some time off. Okay, yeah, and then ghosting is what we just looked at. So not all silence means ghosting. Sometimes people need time, but the differences are healthy space, communicated. I need few days. Ghosting, silence with no explanation. Okay, so these are the two realities. So I think it's always important to look at the situation. Okay, just know the situation, what was going on, who, how was the whole relationship going about, whether it's friendship, family, or dating. Sometimes people need time, and you also have to learn to accept and respect whoever needs some days off, whether they communicate it or not. Sometimes you just they bump back and be like, hey, I needed some time, and it's fine. Okay. If they are your friends, you know that probably they were going through something, they needed time, they took that time off, respect them. Whenever they come back, just be there for them if the relationship is healthy. Okay, let's move to the next one. Let's go. Here we have love bombing. I think it's one of the most powerful ones. I don't know. That's what I think anyway. Love bombing is a psychological manipulation tactic where someone overwhelms another person with excessive attention, affection, compliments, or gifts, especially early in the relationship to quick gain trust and emotional control. At first, it can feel like a fairy tale connection, but it often has a hidden purpose. Yes. When it comes to love bombing, I guess we need like so many pages, but I just minimize everything into 2 pages so that we have a clear understanding. So, common signs of love bombing include saying I love you and talking about a future plan together within days or week. Okay, you meet someone, probably you just met the person a couple of weeks, couple of days, and they're already telling you how much they love you, how much they want to be with you in the future. I had a friend who just told me a couple of days ago that she was once talking to someone who eh, started planning what they will wear when they get married. Okay, stuff like that. Then we have let me just get this closer. Then we have non-stop messages and calls. Okay, they talk to you or they want to talk to you all the time, leaving you literally with no minute alone. Putting putting you on a pedestal. You are perfect. I've never met anyone like you. Suddenly you become the only star in their world. Yes, expensive gift and dramatic display of affection early on. Yeah, so buying you a lot of gifts. Most people even make sure they buy you everything you ask them. Okay, they just want to impress you. They'll do their best because they need to gain your trust, right? Okay, then oh, I forgot another point. The dramatic displays. So you get this person who you met some days ago who starts singing, all my life, singing you all this kind of love song just to make you feel their vibe. This is crazy, but it does happen. I'm sure this has happened to you before or you've done that before. However, we don't judge. We have pressure for compliments, waiting exclusivity, or making big decision quickly. Then we have isolation you from friends and family. Okay, they just want to make you believe that they are your world, they are your everything. Okay, so just let everyone else stay away because it's all about you and them in your empire. So I guess you know what I'm talking about, right? On the second part of love bombing, we have okay. Are you wondering why people do it? So, if the answer is yes, or even if the answer is no, I'm still going to tell you. Love bombing is often linked to manipulation styles seen in toxic or abusive dynamic. Okay, mostly it's used to gain control, create emotional obligation. After everything I've done for you. This is how you treat me. You want to leave me? It's discussed in relation to traits like narcissism. Okay, yeah, so narcissism. One of the most difficult words for me to pronounce. I bet you so hard. Yeah, yeah. I think that wherever you recognize love bombing, rest assured that that relationship is not healthy. Rest assured that that person is just doing that to gain something from you, whether it's physical or monetary or whatever that could be. People mostly love bomb you simply because they want something from you. Okay, they're never going to do it for a long period of time. They have all these plans for a shorter period of time. Okay, so we have the question is, how can you protect yourself? Yeah. So here, let's look at how you can actually protect yourself. Slow things down and remember healthy relationship built over time. Then we have pay attention to actions, not just words. Don't give up on your independence by maintaining friends and family around and make sure you set some boundaries. Whenever you don't feel comfortable, trust yourself. Most importantly, set boundaries early. Okay. Once you set your boundaries very early, I guess they might not be able to love bomb you. Once they see that you've noticed, they're going to withdraw. They're going to withdraw. Of course, they're going to blame you anyway, but they're going to withdraw. And it also helps you, you just protect yourself, okay? Yeah, you don't fall into the fairy tale lifestyle. So yes, that was love bombing. Let's move to the next one. See you soon. Let's go. So here we have projection. Projection. Projection is a psychological defense mechanism where someone unconsciously attributes their own thoughts, feeling, or behavior to another person. Okay. I just noticed the word unconsciously. Okay. This means that there's something else going on in their mind, right? Okay. Let's look into it. Let's simplify it. Instead of recognizing something in themselves, a person projects it outwards, seeing it in you instead. Okay. So we have example, someone who is jealous might accuse their partner of cheating. Someone who is angry might say you are always hostile. Someone who feels insecure might call others inadequate. Okay. Then we have common signs. Let's look at the common signs. So it include frequent blaming without taking responsibilities, strong emotional reactions to things they deny in themselves. Then we have accusation that feels oddly misplaced or exaggerated. Then we have the you always, you never statement. Okay. Let me just make a quick example. You're always blaming me for whatever that situation is, or they'll start like, you never pay attention to me, you never, you already know those kind of statements. So, yeah, let's look next. What's next? So, projection protects the ego from uncomfortable truths. It helps someone avoid the following: guilt, shame, insecurity, internal conflicts. Okay. Instead of facing those feelings, they unconsciously shift them onto someone else. So this is all about, a mental state actually. Yeah. It's- It it's everything that goes on in their mind, okay? Real life examples. A person who lies might constantly accuse others of dishonesty. Yeah. Two, we have someone who feels attraction outside a relationship might accuse their partner of flirting. Okay, then we have three, a controlling person might say you are over controlling or you are controlling. Okay, remember, everything they accuse you of is what it's actually in them. For some reasons, whatever that is going on with them internally, they see it in you and they speak it out loud. Okay, so it's like a mirror. They're actually mirroring themselves. Solution: don't accept the label immediately. Check if it's actually true. Yeah, check if it's actually true. Then we have projection often escalates to conflict. Make sure you stay calm and grounded. Setting boundaries is important. Say, I don't agree with that, and I won't take responsibility for that or for it. Look for patterns. Occasionally defensiveness. Yes, I think like the best way to recognize this is when you start seeing this once, twice, when it continues, like you have to start paying attention. Once you have this one, two, three times, just stay calm and start looking at it very well, and you see that it will continue every time. So that's when you've noticed the pattern. Okay. So we have projection is normal in small doses. Most people do it sometimes. It becomes a problem when it's frequent, intense, and used to avoid accountability. Okay, so once you see that this going on, I think it's better to just stay calm and know what to do. Okay, know how to deal with this kind of people. I think projection is, I don't know, whatever that is. It's something that happens in people's mind. Okay, so if you do recognize it, I think the best way is to stay calm and just, I don't know, just find a way to distance yourself, because this It's a lot to deal with. Let's go. Let's move to the next one. So here we have emotional blackmail. Okay, so what's emotional blackmail? Okay, I think most of us have heard of this. Well, I think it's very common, very popular. Emotional blackmail is a manipulation tactic where someone uses their feeling like guilt, fear, or obligation to pressure you into doing what they want. At first, it doesn't look aggressive. It can be subtle, indirect, or even framed as love or need. What are some of the common signs? So, guilt tripping. We have, after everything I've done for you, threats. If you leave me, I don't know what I'll do. Or, people who say, oh, if you leave me, I'm going to, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to do this to me, do that to myself. Okay. Those kind of things. Then we have silence treatment, withdrawing affection to punish you. Okay. Yeah. So you have a partner, you have a boyfriend, a girlfriend who sometimes will just, totally ignore you. Okay, all your calls, all your messages just to make you feel bad. Okay. That's also a blackmail, a blackmail. Yeah. Then we have playing the victim, making you feel responsible for their emotion. Okay. Ultimatum, do this or else. You know. Then we have emotional pressure, making you feel selfish for saying no. So once you say no, the whole world, comes to an end because why must you say no? They want you to say yes. They want you to do that. You must do that. That's what goes on in their mind. You must do that in order for them to be okay. Then we have the core formula in which is called fog. Fear, you are afraid of consequences. Obligation, you feel you own them. Guilt, you feel bad for not complying. Okay, that's the reason why people try to, emotional emotional blackmail you because they know that you will feel bad if you don't do it for them. Okay, or you'll be scared or stuff like that. These are the reason why they do it. Yeah. What are some of the typical patterns? So we have number one, demand something they want. Okay. Number two, we have resistance. You hesitate or say no. Number three, we have pressure, guilt, anger, threats, and withdrawal. Okay. Number four, we have compliance. You give it to relieve discomfort. Number five, we have repeat. Cycle reinforces itself. So this is how it works. If you don't break that pattern, it's going to repeat over and over again. Okay. Best way to respond. So we have pause before reacting. Don't decide under pressure. Recognize it even internally. This feels like manipulation. So you always have to, once you see it, you have to recognize it. You don't really have to speak it out loud. Okay. Probably it could also be going on in your mind, like, oh, okay, I see it. This person is trying to emotional blackmail me. Once you know it yourself, it's okay. Set clear boundaries. Calm, firm, no over explaining. You don't have to be explaining things over and over again to the person just to make them realize they know what they're doing. Accept discomfort. Their feelings are not your responsibility. So you are not responsible for how people feel, okay? You are responsible for yourself. And if they feel bad or they feel that you must do that for them, I'm sorry, it's their own issues, not yours. Pay attention to patterns, not promises. Okay, exactly. Important. Not every emotional reaction is a manipulation. Okay, so as always, there are always, good side and like I don't know, not even good side. There are healthy and unhealthy ways, okay, because we all do have this behavior in us, okay. You just have to notice the difference when it's getting a bit too much or stuff like that, okay, to realize that the person is actually being unhealthy. So the healthy one, the key differences are healthy and unhealthy. Expressing feeling without controlling you, that's healthy, that's okay. Then the unhealthy one is using feelings to control your behavior. Okay. Yeah. That's when it's unhealthy. So once you see this, cut it off. So, lastly, we have playing the victim. It's a coping behavior where someone constantly portrays themselves as the victim. Okay, sorry, portray themselves as the one being wronged, often to gain sympathy, avoid responsibility, or control a situation. Okay, at first, it can seem like a genuine hurt at first, but the key is the pattern and intent, not a single moment. Okay, so how do you spot this? Never take responsibility. Everything is always someone else's fault. Twist situations. Even when they hurt you, they become the real victim. Seek sympathy to deflect accountability, exaggerate or dramatize events, makes you feel guilty for confronting them, uses phrases like, "Why are you always attacking me? I guess I'm just a terrible person then. Everyone treats me badly." Then we have not always consciously, not always consciously manipulative. Sometimes it's a learned defense. It can stem from avoiding guilt or shame, low self-esteem, past experiences where being a victim brought attention or safety, desire for control without direct confrontation. Okay, so yeah, these are things that I think we've all seen in our lives, right? So how it looks like, you bring up an issue, they flip it, then they are hurt or offended. Focus shift from the problem to the how they feel. You end up apologizing or you back down, Yeah. Then we have here how to deal with it. Stay on the original issue. Don't get pulled into their narrative. Acknowledge their feelings. Make sure yes, you can actually tell them, yes, I know that you are hurt, but then you still talk about the situation or whatever you are dealing with. Okay, make sure you don't just let the problem hide or the problem run away. You are still facing the problem till the end. Okay, so we have situations like, I hear you upset, but that's not what I said. Don't over apologize if you didn't do wrong. Okay, set boundaries. You can care without taking blame. Look for patterns or occasional defensiveness. You see, mostly when somebody is trying to make you apologize for everything, whatever it is, if you're actually not wrong, I think you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, set boundaries. You can carry it out. Yeah. Set boundaries. Whatever they are dealing with is their issue. Sometimes you just have to let them know, listen, this is your own issue, it's not my issue. You have to deal with yourself. You have to deal with your situation before we can continue this conversation. Okay. This behavior often overlaps with things like emotional blackmail and projection, especially in unhealthy dynamics. So the thing is, you always have to know whether the situation is healthy or unhealthy. Okay. So lastly, this is what I have to say. So if you've paid attention to the word pattern, it's present in all manipulation tactics. Okay, meaning observing the pattern in every situation is important. Okay, recognizing patterns across manipulation tactics isn't just good to know, it's what protects you or protects your judgment, boundaries, and emotional well-being. Okay, once you see that, yeah, whatever that is going on has been repeating itself for one, two, three, four, five, or whatever times, just make sure you recognize that there's something is off there. You're probably being manipulated in one way or another, and stay calm and start making your own research, read a little bit more, talk to people. That's one thing that I think helps a lot. Talk to people you trust in order to, come out of this situation. And yes, that was it. I'm very happy we made it. Was a long one, but I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, for listening. It was all about manipulation tactics. That's what we talked about today with Miss Julia. So please, can you like the video, comment, share, subscribe if you want, and see you next time. Thank you and bye.